Hi, my name is Allyson Streeper, and this is the data overview for Arnold Mill Elementary School. Before we get started, I wanted to bring up the mission statement at our school. The mission at Arnold Mill Elementary School is to provide excellence in educating the emerging generation through high expectations, teamwork, communication, and differentiated learning environments designed to increase the performance of all students. Reading that helps us understand the importance of looking at data. The purpose of this presentation will be to review the demographics of our school, enrollment data, demographic data, attendance data, and then examine the Georgia Milestones assessment data from the last 3 years, both ELA and math. We will identify strengths and weaknesses and go over next steps and action items. Arnold Mill Elementary School is a kindergarten through 5th grade building with an average enrollment of approximately 789 students. Class sizes range from 18 to 28, depending on the grade level and section. Students participate in art, PE, music, library, and guidance lessons on a regular basis. A framework for developing differentiated lessons to intensify student achievement is provided through cooperative learning communities. A spectrum of services and teaching models exist for all students, including students with the AIM program, response to intervention tiers, early intervention program, English Language Learners Program, Special Education Program, and students with 504 plans. Arnold Mill Elementary School is partnered with the Marcus Autism Center in training and giving feedback to teachers concerning SEEKs, as AMES houses 5 self-contained units for autism and mild/moderate students. Next, we will take a look at the number of students at Arnold Mill. In 2014, 848 students were enrolled. There was a dip the next year to 782, but enrollment increased again in 2016 with 791 students. As we look at the race/ethnicity data from the school, we can tell that most of our students are white, but we have a substantial number of Hispanic students as well. The other subgroups are under 4% each year. With that being said, the number of free/reduced lunch students is right above 20%, and the English language learners are around 10% of the Arnold Mill population. These are important numbers for when we look at the academic data. The educational programs at Arnold Mill include gifted/talented, EIP, special education, and 1-year EBD. Other than the EBD, each of these numbers seem to bounce from around 10 to 15% of the population. Next, we have the attendance data. From this, we can see that almost 40% of the students each year miss 6 to 15 days. That is a substantial amount, and we will discuss that later in our program. The number of students missing over 15 days has decreased over the last 3 years, so that is good news. Here we see the mobility rate at Arnold Mill. A mobility rate is the percentage of students who entered or withdrew from a school during the year. Starting from 10.9 and moving down to 7.5, it has decreased each year. Moving on to the staff. There are a lot of numbers here, and from what we can see, Arnold Mill sits around 60 teachers each year, and most have less than 20 years experience. We also can see that the population of teachers is predominantly female. Lastly, for the school, the CCRPI score, which is a college readiness indicator. This score correlates to a grade level. Spending the previous 2 years at a C, the school has improved to a B overall score in 2017, so that is progress. Compared to the district and state, where they previously did better than us, Arnold Mill did very well in 2017. We can see that in this graph right here. 2017, here we are. Okay, let's move on to the achievement data. First, we will look at the Georgia Milestone score, so we need to understand what we're looking at. The assessment has 4 different performance levels that the students can score in. Beginning learners do not yet demonstrate proficiency in knowledge and skills necessary at the grade level. The students need substantial academic support. Developing learners demonstrate partial proficiency, and these students need additional academic support. Proficient learners demonstrate proficiency. They are prepared for the next grade level or course. And distinguished learners demonstrate advanced proficiency. These students are well prepared for the next grade level. We will start looking at the ELA data. Here is a graph of our school scores over the last 3 years. As you look at these scores, something to note is the decline of beginning and developmental scores and the overall improvement of the proficient and distinguished scores, especially in 2016-2017. So we see the decline and the increase, In our school improvement plan, we have written out our goals. In ELA, the goal is to increase the percentage of students scoring at level 3 and 4 from 48 to 58% and to decrease the percentage of students scoring at level 1 from 18 to 12 on the Georgia milestones in ELA for grades 3, 4, and 5 by the school year 2019-2020. We can see that we did not do as well in 2015-2016, but we are making progress on our goal as of 2016-2017. Looking at the subgroup data, we can see a few things pretty clearly here. First, Hispanic students and students with disabilities do not seem to do as well as the other subcategories on the ELA assessment. We can also see that African American students are a subcategory doing rather well. We will bring up this data again later and ponder a few questions. As it compares to the district and state, these graphs show us doing better than the state, but not better than the county. Remember, we want to see a smaller number in the first 2 categories and a bigger number in the second 2 categories, which we only achieved over the county in the distinguished category. Now let's look at some of the same type of graphs for our math data. First, we have the percentage of students scoring at each level on the Georgia milestones of the last 3 years. This data looks pretty good as we have decreased over on this side, gone down here, and increased overall on this side. That is a good trend from the 2015 to the 2017 test. As it relates to the math goal, our goal at AMES is to increase the percentage of students scoring at level 3 and 4 from 40 to 48% and decrease the percentage of students scoring at level 1 from 18 to 12% on the Georgia milestones in math for grades 3, 4, and 5 by the school year 2019-2020. With the star, we can see that in 2016-2017, we actually met the goal with 50% of the students. We are also making progress on the percentage of students scoring at level 1. Now let's compare that to the district and state. It looks much like the ELA data. We see the graphs looking good compared to the state, but the district in each category except the proficient, which is very tight right here, looks like the district is a little bit above us. Okay, for our areas of strength, these are a few things we can say. The percentage of students scoring at level 3 and 4 on the Georgia Milestones ELA assessment has increased. From discussions with the principal, preliminary looks at the 2017-2018 scores show an increase as well. The percentage of students scoring at level 1 on the Georgia Milestones ELA and math assessment has decreased. Also from discussions with the principal, preliminary looks at 2017-2018 scores show a decrease. The percentage of students scoring at level 3 and 4 on the Georgia Milestones math assessment has increased. The SIP goal has already been met for the 2019-2020 school year. Let's go over some areas of improvement now. Hispanic students and students with disabilities are not performing as well as other subcategories on the Georgia Milestones ELA assessment. The district is outperforming Arnold Mill most years on the Georgia Milestones ELA and math assessments based on the percentage of students scoring in each performance level. And with these strengths and weaknesses, we need to ask ourselves a few questions. Did any of the data presented surprise you? What inferences and explanations can we come up with based on the data presented? What can we do to work on the areas of improvement? What achievement gaps did you notice? Are we making progress on any of the achievement gaps? Does attendance look like an issue? What can be done to improve attendance if so? And we're going to end on a few next steps or action items. After reviewing the data, we need to review school improvement plan and data overview with all of the faculty and staff. The grade levels need to meet to break down data even further based on domain. Grade levels need to create their own next steps based on data overview and domain breakdown specific to their grade level. The data team needs to review each grade level's next steps. Then we need to look into professional development based on domain and subgroup weaknesses. The ILT will look into instructional strategies to review during faculty meetings based on this information as well. Thank you for listening, and hopefully this gives you a better understanding of Arnold Mill Elementary as a whole. Here are a few resources used to compile the data.